What's up, guys? It's Eric and Marcus from Rare Candy, and today we're back with the third round of the recent League Challenge we got to go attend. The format for this one was Primal Clash, all the way up to Evolutions, the most recent set, so just a standard League Challenge. So on the left here, we have Daryl Horn playing against Alex Truong. If I'm not mistaken, this is going to be a Yveltal Garbodor mirror match.
Yeah.
So should be a deck that most people are pretty familiar with at this point. It's only won like every major tournament
Right.
this season.
It was only the top four, like every deck in top four in Europe was Yveltal Garb. So
Yeah, definitely
5 of top 8 were that. So
makes sense to play it.
yeah,
Seems
play
like a good
this.
deck.
And it's not expensive to build either. I don't think.
Definitely not.
Other than like after,
I mean,
before Shamans, it's probably like $80. So.
Yeah. And also, shout to Dylan Bussert. Alex wanted me to give him a shout for letting him borrow this deck. So
Yeah.
just a quick shout to Dylan there.
Shout out to Dylan for letting me borrow a Flygon EX today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dylan, you the MVP of this league challenge.
Dylan was the MVP.
Oh, and he sent me the names of all the players too, so we could
nice.
actually know who's playing.
Shout out to Dylan for
yeah, man.
If you ever in Wilmington, hit up your boy Dylan. He'll help you out with lending you Flygons and sending you the names of the people that were in the tournament, and doing a great job of running the league challenge in general. I think he did a pretty good job of that too. He was very
It's definitely one of the
timely
faster
and stuff. Yeah.
ones I've been to.
He did a good job of making sure everyone was set up and ready to go, started at the same time. Yeah, he ran it well.
Okay, so Shaman start, not what you want to see whatsoever.
Ooh, nope. And you discard, I guess, like a parallel. I feel like in the mirror, you want to get the parallel down first.
Yeah, definitely, because it'll be a dead card for your opponent since they usually just play the same stadiums. I know some Dark players play one copy of Reverse Valley to be able to bounce the parallel, to be able to play their own on future turns.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, I think the average is just 2 parallel for the whole deck.
Yeah, 2 parallel. You sometimes see people play 3, but yeah, like you said, every now and then there's 1 or 2 people that like to play the Reverse Valley. That was in Azul's list. I think that was the first one that got that won
from
regionals
Orlando
this
regionals.
season. Yeah. I think all the other ones have opted for just the parallels, but
It varies. I don't think there's been like one dominant version of Yveltal that's been winning.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's been Yveltal Garb, but there's been like maybe 3 to 4 card differences between all the lists.
Yeah.
And here I think I saw a Delinquent in Alex's hands. That could be a cool card. If I had to guess, he probably doesn't play Reverse Valley if he plays Delinquent.
Yeah.
That's just my gut reaction, at least.
And that's another one that's good in the mirror, I think, too, because, again, you get to bump the Reverse Valley if you don't get it down first.
Definitely.
So, and also, making your opponent discard 3 cards is pretty good, too.
Ooh, and Daryl actually has a pretty bad hand. I think he just has a Versus Seeker and Energy, which is not what you want to see here. He does have a Max Elixir, luckily, so hopefully he can at least thin out his deck a little bit to be able to hopefully top deck into something that's useful.
Yeah. So we see a Float Stone on the Yveltal EX.
Interesting. Okay, does hit a Dark, so at least that will take 1 card out of his deck and put him 1 card closer to be able to getting a supporter or something.
I saw he plays Delinquent too, so...
Interesting, okay. Definitely seems like a good card.
Yeah.
So he's going to attach to the Active Fright Knight and the benched one. And it looks like Alex top decked a Sycamore. He's got to feel good about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and I do see actually a Reverse Valley in his list, so he plays all sorts of ways to make sure he wins the Stadium War. He's going to get rid of Garbodor, which, I don't know, I think going for Garb actually might be good at this point since Daryl is having a bit of a slow start. But I don't know, maybe you want to encourage your opponent to bench Shamans. That might be a strategy he might want to go for since Fright Knight Yveltal can pick them off.
Yeah.
But also, luckily, too, even though Daryl is kind of drawing dead, he does start with Fright Knight Yveltal, which is so good because that ability does stop the effect of tool cards. So Alex won't be able to just attach a Float Stone and retreat. He is going to have to actually Sky Return or pay an energy cost to get this Shaman out of the active spot.
Yeah. Luckily, it's only 1 energy, but you still would much rather be attaching to your attackers. But he does get the Float Stone here, which is good, and puts down the Reverse Valley.
So or at least
Or well, yeah, I
they'll be
guess
they'll
the
be
float
shown.
stone doesn't matter. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it let him draw more cards off his
Yeah.
Shaman, so
Yeah.
it's fine. If he gets a Garbodor out, that'll help him too. But here he's just
Hmm.
going to Sky Return, which is great, I think. You want to keep your Shamans off the board with these Fright Night Yveltals running around.
Yeah.
And Daryl just top decks another Yveltal EX. This has got to be frustrating. You can see it just in his and like his body language too.
Yeah.
But the game's not over yet. No one's taken a prize, so even though it's not looking too great for him currently, it's not the end of the world here.
Mhm. So just an attach and pass from Daryl. We'll see what we just got a big
Yeah.
Yveltal. Like this Yveltal's starting to get a little beefy.
Yeah, so if possible, if he can get his own Yveltal EX powered up to respond to this, he might be able to take it out with very little energy.
Yeah.
Since it looks like Alex is committing so much to it. But here we're just going to see an Evil Ball, 20 times the number of energy on both active Pokemon. Oh, and he top decks an end. You
Okay.
couldn't ask for a better top deck here,
Yeah.
I think. So, what, you probably bench the other Yveltal EX, I guess?
I think so. I think that's a fine play. It looks like he opts to keep it in the deck, though.
Yeah, maybe he is just afraid of a Lysander stall or something. But I probably would bench it there, just because you want an Yveltal EX that has a Fighting Fury belt on it.
Yeah.
Since the active one has Float Stone.
Mhm.
So, I don't think there was a danger in benching it, but again, maybe he's just afraid of the Lysander type of play. Okay, so he does get a Trubbish, which I'm not sure how useful it will be at this point. And he
Wow.
whiffs Max Elixir
Another
too.
one too. I think he missed like the first one or something, or
No, the first one
Okay,
actually did
okay.
hit.
yeah.
But does he have an energy in hand? Okay, he does have another Max Elixir, so he really needs this here.
Come on, Max Elixir.
But I would argue
There we
that
go.
the only problem with this now is, oops, almost
Yeah.
revealed some prizes. But the only problem here is this Yveltal will be able to just respond with a knockout, like
Right.
no problem whatsoever. I would maybe even consider, maybe benching the Trubbish and letting that get knocked out, and then Lysander the other Yveltal EX and use
Yeah.
Pitch Black Spear to snipe around this big one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you do run the risk of Alex having Lysander, but I may have considered that. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I think that would have been a potential play for him.
Yeah, I think it would have been good too.
Because I think he does have Lysander in hand. I think that's why
yeah.
I was saying that.
And this Yveltal just gets even bigger.
Yeah.
It was already definitely getting the KO without attaching another energy, so
Definitely.
just beefing it up even more. It'd be nice too if he had benched the Trubbish, because then he could throw something else active, potentially get like a DCE and another Max Elixir if he plays 4.
Yeah.
But I
So
don't
he
know
does-
how many Max Elixir he plays.
He
So.
does have the DCE. Is going to bench the Trubbish now. And he probably just Versus Seeker for N. Oh, okay. He's opting for Sycamore. I think I would have preferred N here, even though Sycamore does get that Lysander in the discard pile, which is nice. I think ending and putting Alex at a lower hand size, which I can't tell how many cards are in his hand, but I'm assuming it would have put him at a lower hand size.
Yeah.
Or actually, I'm not sure. He might only have 4 cards in his hand to begin with.
I think he has 5.
Oh, okay. Something like that.
Yeah.
So here he's going to grab an Ultra Ball. Looks like he's contemplating the Oblivion Wing Yveltal.
Yeah, it looks like that's what he's going for.
So let's see. If he promotes that, Alex's Yveltal will do 20, 40, 60, 80, 120. So it will force Alex to commit yet another energy or a Fighting Fury Belt to take out this benched Yveltal. Oh, okay.
There's
He's
a
gonna...
belt.
Okay, so that's actually pretty cool. Alex more than likely will not be able to knock this out. I think he would need a DCE and a Fighting Fury Belt
Yeah.
in order to knock this thing out. Oh, so he has the belt. I don't know if I'd want to attach a DCE to this thing, though. Just
Yeah, that's getting
because,
scary.
yeah, that's just so much energy. It's not worth it on something like this that doesn't really threaten your board.
Right.
So,
Because then that his bench to Yveltal can retaliate pretty well to that, and then you have
Yeah.
nothing really set up on your bench, so
So this is actually somewhat similar to the old Mewtwo Wars from 2012. Because you could bench a Mewtwo EX and you could load a ton of energy on it, but you run the risk of your opponent having a way to respond with their own Mewtwo to just easily kind of knock your big Mewtwo out.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the same thing here with these Yveltals.
Uh-huh.
You can power up a big one and, potentially sweep your opponent, but if they have their own Yveltal with just 2 energy with the Evo Ball,
Yeah.
they can kind of, you know, retaliate easily.
Right.
But I think Alex is doing the right thing. He is attaching to that benched Yveltal EX.
Mm-hmm. It looks like he's just gonna try for the 2-shot on the Oblivion Wing of Yveltal, and I don't blame him. That's what I would do too, I think.
And this Oblivion Wing Yveltal is pretty much stranded this turn anyways. Has Fighting Fury Belt, not Float Stone.
Yeah.
So I don't think he has to worry about this Yveltal EX coming to attack it.
Mm-hmm. And he Y Cyclones, which is helpful too. It lowers the chance, I guess, of Daryl responding with like a knockout with just an energy attachment and
Definitely.
using mostly Alex's energy against him.
And if I remember correctly, Daryl plays Olympia. So if he had had an Olympia and an energy, he would have been able to easily kind of just take out this Yveltal. So I think the Y Cyclone is a good choice in this type of situation.
Yeah. I see he plays Ranger in here too, so it's,
Yep.
doesn't really do anything in this matchup, but
Yeah, not really this one.
so
So
Float Stone, Sycamore, Shaman, double colorless, and a Versus Seeker, I think.
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you do here? You've already attached Return, so I think you just attach Floatstone. It's perfectly fine. And then we're
Yeah.
probably just seeing an Oblivion Wing for 40 damage.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like he's opting.
To play an N.
Oh, okay, because he just used setup. He didn't use the supporter yet.
Right.
That's fine. So more than likely, like I said, though, we probably will see an Oblivion Wing for 40, which is actually pretty good because that'll put this Yveltal EX within an easy knockout range for his own Evo Ball without having to commit a lot of resources
Yeah.
to this Yveltal EX. Okay, so he can potentially Ultra Ball, give himself another Yveltal EX for the board. I don't know if you really need it this turn or not, but he does have that option. Okay, what do you grab here? Looks like he's just opting to not grab anything. It was like a Parallel City and Fighting Fury Belt
Yeah.
and a Floatstone he could grab off the Trainer's Mail, I think it was.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, he's already got Parallel in play. He's already got a Fury Belt in his hand.
Yeah.
Don't
That
really
seems
think he
fine.
needs one on Shaman.
So we're just going to see an Oblivion Wing for 40 and get an energy out of the discard to attach to that Yveltal EX.
Mm-hmm.
So the only danger now for Daryl is that since his own Yveltal EX is getting powered up, he's running the risk of Alex being able to potentially Lysander. Okay, and he is Lysandering it up himself. So this might be knockout here. Yeah, because that'll be 20,
Yeah,
40,
170.
60, 80, 100. Yeah, so that's the downside to your powering up your own Yveltal. So I think that's actually a really huge Lysander, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think one of the only ways he can come back is if he gets a quick Yveltal EX powered up, maybe with like a max elixir.
Mm-hmm. And like a double colorless or something.
Yeah, I think that and N are going to be very crucial. Okay, so he's opting for DCE, and here I would actually probably just attach the Dark. That way you have less... Okay, so he's just going to Lysander for Shaman, so that'll be the game either way. That'll be his last 2 prizes. And here they're just counting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Does 110 exactly, so...
Yeah, so Alex is going to take this Yveltal mirror match pretty convincingly. Daryl did have a bit of a rough time getting going there, to be fair, though.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, guys, that's Yveltal. Definitely a deck you should be prepared to play against if you are going to a tournament, that's for sure.
I don't think I saw any hammers in either of those, which
No.
is interesting.
No, they... I forget if Daryl played Enhanced Hammer. I believe he does. And I'm pretty sure I saw it in Alex's deck too. I could be wrong, but I believe I did see it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But anyways, guys, that's going to be round 3. If you haven't checked out our other rounds, definitely be sure to do so, and also stick around for the last 2 that we're going to upload, so you can see who actually wins this whole thing. But yeah, as usual, feel free to like and subscribe, and don't forget to check out our merch over at rarecandytcg.com. Pick yourself up a playmat, shirt, or a dice bag or something. Help support the channel. It would mean a lot to us. But with that, we appreciate you watching, and we will see you for the next one, okay?